I've been having a conversation with a friend, Van, and he tests me all the time. He just throws these tests out, and I've been recently studying a perspective of how there are types of individuals. I'm not saying he is one of these, but there are types of individuals that throw tests at people to test them, but they already know those people are going to fail at the test. Any answer that person has to the test will be wrong. And in this way, they don't have to get too close. They don't have to open up. Which, it's neither here nor there for me. With Van, he's going to be who he is. Our relationship is unfolding. We're discovering each other. That's how we are. So be it. I'm not overly invested in him, but he has something interesting to say. He's repeatedly said it, and I know he's looking for my response. So he's not looking to make a truth statement so much as get a reaction. And this is very interesting to me because, it may be healthy to get a reaction out of me. It may be growth developing, However, he may just be toying with me too. Or both, a little bit of both. I'm usually an animated character when I'm talking to people, so some of my reactions could be quite entertaining, even though they're not always pleasing. But he says this: you're from the subjective view. You're taking it too subjectively. And automatically, the opposite of that is the objective view. And it has to do with evaluation and devaluation. Do you devalue my perspective as a result of categorizing me in this tagged and bagged little box? To tag and bag something is to limit it, to fix it, set fast, just like tagging and bagging a body bag with a tag on the toe. It's dead. It's no longer living, growing, and changing. So I look at this stuff and I go, he's gentle, he's kind, he's respectful, he's intelligent. So I don't take it too personally. But these all may be certain techniques he uses for ulterior motives, to which I won't go into at this point because no harm is done, no harm, no foul, so to say. But as far as the time-space consciousness goes, one might consider it also a subjective objective, or self and other, which is a term that Spengler uses. The self and other relationship. And this idea of the self and other relationship led me along a path of study of trying to recognize what I am identifying with at any particular moment. What do I identify my sense of self with at any particular moment? So, like with my daughters, my sense of self is in relationship to my daughters is very strong. I have this long relationship with them as a father role, so I can become very highly invested in being father-like, fatherly. And if I get resistance to that from them, for whatever reason they may have, which is valid, I can have a strong response. And I've been detaching myself somewhat from that. And, even though I don't want to detach very much from it because it's very life fulfilling for me. So no matter how much they bombard me, they're not going to dissolve my identity rooted in being a father. However, I will detach my self-importance enough attached to being a father so that I can take the blows, not too personally. There's a lot there in those statements. So, in looking at people, tagging and bagging them, so to say, organizing them in a very general, light, and not too self-important way, not overly investing in it, as either time-oriented consciousness or space-oriented consciousness. And you could see this with people. At some points their view becomes very narrowed, and then at other points their view becomes greatly expanded with a wonderful perspective. And you can bring their consciousness back and forth and back and forth. Well, I don't know if you do this, but I can see it happening in my relationships. When we need to get focused, I can say certain things and things get focused, and then I can, say other things and things become a wider perspective. It's quite brilliant because, no matter what, when you're listening to someone else and their perspective, and you see them get all focused on something and then expand again, you can see how they work, their workings. How far can they expand? How focused can they get? And this stuff is very interesting to me, because it seems to me that I can highly influence it. I suppose we all can. But it's not about influencing it so much as, for me, riding the ride. Trying to come to terms with this skill I have, this ability I have. Not having to play with all the blocks by myself, but sharing the blocks and letting these constructs develop together. It's all very, very interesting to me.